Hello and welcome. Language is one of the most fascinating creations of the human mind. With just a few words, we describe the world, share ideas, and express emotions. But have you ever noticed what happens inside a sentence? Take a simple statement: dogs bark. Two small words, but together they form a complete thought. Behind this simplicity lies a hidden architecture of language. Understanding this architecture, this structure, is what grammarians call the analysis of a sentence. Today, we'll explore how a sentence works from the inside. We'll break it apart piece by piece and understand how the subject, the predicate, the object, the complement, and the other elements of a sentence come together to form meaning. By the end of this lecture, you will no longer look at a sentence as a group of words. You'll begin to see them as carefully organized expression of thought. We have learned earlier that a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. The first step in the analysis of a sentence is to divide it into its two main components, the subject and the predicate. What is a subject? A subject is a word or a group of words that denote something about which something is said, or simply the subject is something about which something is said. And what is a predicate? A predicate is a word or a group of words that says something about the subject or something denoted by the subject, or simply the predicate says something about the subject. Now, something interesting happens when we observe real sentences. A subject may be a single word or it may contain more than one words. For example, dogs bark. In this sentence, the subject is a single word, that is dogs. But in other cases, the subject is more than one word, it is a group of words. But still, there is one word that is more important than the other words. And this brings us to our next concept in the analysis of a sentence. When a subject consists of more than one word remains central to the subject. That chief word is called the subject word or the simple subject. Consider this sentence: the child, tired of play, went to sleep. In this sentence, the complete subject is the child, tired of play. But there is one word that remains central, that is more important than the other words. And in this case, that word is the child. So the word child is the subject word or the simple subject. The simple subject is always a noun or a group of words that perform the function of a noun. For example, he tried his best. In this sentence, he, a single word, is the subject. Another example: the rich don't care about the poor. In this sentence, the subject is the rich, which is a phrase consisting of two words, and this phrase performs the function of a noun in this sentence. Another example: talking too much is a sign of vanity. In this sentence, talking too much is the complete subject, and it is a phrase consisting of two words, and these two words are performing the function of a noun. Another example: to err is human. To err is a phrase consisting of two words, and it is the subject in this sentence, and these two words are performing the function of a noun. Another example: to find fault is easy. In this sentence, the complete subject is the phrase to find fault, consisting of three words, and these three words are performing the function of a noun. Sometimes the subject word is qualified by adjectives or adjective equivalents. In the analysis of a sentence, these are called its enlargement or attribute. For example, new brooms sweep clean. In this sentence, the complete subject is new brooms, the phrase new brooms. But the subject word is brooms, and new is its attribute or enlargement. Another example: barking dogs seldom bite. Barking dogs in this sentence is the subject, but the central word, the subject word, is dogs, and barking is its attribute or enlargement. which is describing it or enriching it. Harry's father is an engineer. Harry's father in this sentence is the complete subject, but the central word or the subject word in this subject is father, and Harry's is its enlargement or attribute describing the central word or the subject word father. Another example, a desire to excel is commendable. In this sentence, the phrase a desire to excel is the complete subject, but the subject word is the desire, and all the other words are there to enlarge or enrich the central word or the subject word desire. In all of these examples, the subject word remains central while the other words enlarge or enrich it. Just as a portrait gains depth through its details, a subject word gains clarity through its attributes. That's all for now. More about the analysis of the sentence in the next lecture. If you like this lecture and you have learned something from it, like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.